copying off the Matrix at the time for you young Thundercats that weren't born or weren't around. 1999's Matrix changed the game for live action cinema and video games as well, where so many things were doing what's dubbed the bullet time or the Matrix, where he went slow motion like that. That was something so many things, so many shows, so many movies, so many video games were just copying that. That was the era where everyone wanted to be cool and being a badass with guns, with swords, being, as you kids nowadays say, dripped. We used to say swag, but, or, suave, swagger, whatever, whatever y'all Thundercats say these days. Nonetheless, it was about being cool, it's just, which is, we don't really have, your guys' definition of cool is way different than ours, but um, that was one of the things. And so, like, that was just captured so much in this show. Even Dante's personality was captured very well, which reflected how he was in the novels. But if you were to play Devil May Cry 1, it's very light on story. And basically, Devil May Cry 1, I've always had the opinion, if you were to go into it, it kind of opens and closes a door. Like it's literally self-contained. You could literally just be like, all right, cool. That played that game and move on. Devil May Cry 2 had next to no story. Most of it was in the manual. And if you didn't have a manual, yes, kids, video games came with manuals back in the day. Some of them were thick, some of them had color, and then they got cheap, and there's black and white, and then they got cheaper, and they're like, yeah, fuck manuals, we ain't gonna have that. But nonetheless, we had manuals, and the story of Devil May Cry 2 actually relied incredibly heavily on Devil May Cry 2, the novel, which set up the entirety of the game. But a lot of people never got to read the novel and went to the game and were like, "What's going on?" Because the story just really wasn't. Everything was set up in the novel. You didn't really get to experience it within the game. Other than you met Lucia, you met Vita Mali, that organization. You met you were fighting against the Uroboros organization and against their the CEO of that company, which a lot of us back in the day were like, man, we had a French sounding Heihachi because he looks like Heihachi Mishima from Tekken. It's one of those things. And he spoke with the stereotypical like French, when back in the day when we made fun of French people. I mean, that was the whole thing. And you guys don't even remember freedom fries, do you? That's a callback. Yeah, you
Okay.
got you got that look. Like, you remember that was a whole thing. We're like, we ain't gonna call them French fries; they're freedom fries.